What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about how you can throw a football farther. So we're going to talk about all the things that you need to do to increase your arm strength and some of the good habits that you guys can build to increase your throw power. So I hope this is able to help you out. Let's get started. So where does arm strength come from as a quarterback? Arm strength comes from something called torque, and torque comes from something called upper body and lower body dissociation. And that's what all rotational athletes need to have, specifically quarterbacks if you're trying to throw the football farther or even harder. So when I'm trying to throw a deep ball, the major key is that you need to focus on your base, your hips, and your shoulders, and it needs to happen in that specific order. So let's say I'm trying to throw a deep fade over here to the left. What I want to do is I want to have weight loaded onto my back leg. You don't want to be sitting super low. You want to be nice and tall and shift yourself back, and you want to be in a position called stacked, which means your head, your knee, and your foot are stacked on top of each other like a really tall skyscraper. And you want to be nice and light on your front foot. Now you want weight on your back leg, and you need to keep that weight on your back leg when you take a stride. Now on deeper throws, it's tempting for quarterbacks to want to do this. Really push off this back foot and take a really big stride. But when your feet are wide, what ends up happening is that you can't rotate with your hips, so you can't produce torque. So what happens is guys will lock out, they pop up, and they push the ball, and that's what makes the ball die. You want to have weight on that, you want to be in that skyscraper like we talked about, slight tilt of your shoulders, and you want that foot to step down. And when that foot gets down, you want to maintain weight on your back leg. I tell QBs, pretend there's a flashlight on your knee. Let's say we got a sideline over here. Keep the flashlight pointed at the sideline when your front foot gets down. Now, reason why you want to keep weight on your back leg is that allows you to rotate your shoulders. If you push all your weight forward, you can't rotate your shoulders, so you don't get to dissociation, which is, again, separating the upper body from the lower body. I want my upper body to go that way as my lower body's going that way, because that creates a coil, and that coil, or I guess you could say that like rubber band snap, if you will, is how I get power. So you want weight on your back leg, you stride, you want your shoulders to rotate back and your hands to separate, and then what gives us power is the rotation of my hips. So we want to be able to rotate with my hips and drive towards that target. Hip needs to fire through before the elbow and before the ball, and that will increase throw power and arm strength for you. Now there are a couple other things that tie into that we're going to discuss next. Now fellas, before we get into the rest of this video, if you're a QB and you guys would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches, we are going to be traveling out to 7 more cities across the entire U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. So guys, go to that very first link in the description below if you would like to sign up to train with myself. We are going to be coming out to Newark, New Jersey next. Then we'll be heading out to Birmingham, Alabama, Houston, Texas, Boston, Massachusetts, Columbus, Ohio, Boise, Idaho, and finishing off our camp tour in Los Angeles, California. Guys, our Houston camp and our Columbus camp are completely sold out, but we have maybe about 3 to 4 remaining spots in all of the other states that we listed. So guys, if you want to sign up to work with myself and my staff, very first link in that description below. We'd love to have you there. Let's get back to this video. So when it comes to throwing a deep ball, you guys, like let's say I'm trying to throw like a 40-yard deep post, maybe a 45-yard fade, whatever the case may be, you need to be able to generate momentum with your hitch and with your drop. And there are 2 specific drops that we teach quarterbacks that will help them increase their deep ball distance. So one of the first drops would be a shuffle hitch drop. So you see it's super common nowadays, especially in college programs. Quarterbacks and, like, I guess you could say offenses are getting away from the more traditional like 3-step drop, 5-step drop where they're having to cross their feet over. They'd just rather have their quarterbacks stay in their base and take like a shuffle drop. So on a deeper throw, we do something called a shuffle hitch. So let's say I'm throwing a fade over here to the left. What you would do, you could do this drop with your right foot up. It's easier if you have your left foot up in your stance, but if you're a left foot back type of guy, that's totally fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to reach back with your right foot and you're going to drag your left foot. So I'll be here so you guys have a better angle. It's a reach, shuffle. Now when you get to the top of the shuffle, you're going to have a little bit of weight loaded onto your front foot. And when you have that weight on your front foot, you're going to tilt yourself forward just a tad. Probably the only time in my throwing base I like weight on our front foot. Then what we're going to do is you're going to take your right foot, you're going to try to maintain your base. You don't want your feet to click together. We never want that to happen. But you're going to replace your left foot with your right foot and rock your shoulders back, and then we're going to let that thing go. So that's a shuffle hitch, and we'll show you how that should look full speed in a second. Then the other drop that we teach is a simple 3-step drop in a hitch. However, when you hit the top of your 3-step, you have some weight loaded onto your front foot, just like the shuffle. So you go 1, crossover 2, you get real heavy, plant 3, replace your feet, arc your shoulders back, and then let that thing go. So we're gonna show you how that should look full speed, both of those drops, but those are 2 drops that help you create momentum. The goal to be able to drive the ball further is we have weight here and we replace. That momentum shift is what we want as a quarterback to be able to create some more drive behind that ball and get us maybe 5 to 10 more yards deeper than if I was just throwing flat-footed.